What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Tim Sports Talk. And today we're talking about the Seattle Seahawks record prediction. We've done the Rams, we've done the Niners. We're staying in the NFC West, moving over to Seattle. And first, we're going to break down their roster. And Russell Wilson, probably at least top three, at least top four, maybe top three quarterback in the league. Absolute beast. Since he's been there, they've only lost less than 10 games. Won less than 10 games one time since he's been there. So I have no fear that Russell Wilson is going to do it again. So a little precursor, I think they're going to get double-digit wins. Chris Carson, awesome running back, has had some fumbling issues and injury problems in the past. Hopefully they can figure that out. Rashad Penny the same way. DJ Dallas had a couple of good games for him last year, but their running back situation is going to start off good, but it always seems to get hurt. So they may look to add another running back early in the season, maybe not before week 1, but early on is probably what they're going to end up doing. Wide receivers, you got DK Metcalf, the physical freak, running a 100-meter dash in trying to go for the Olympics. Absolute beast, super tall, great speed, and I actually like him. I know a lot of people like to give him a bad rap, but I think he's really, really good. Tyler Lockett is a great 1-2 punch, more of like the route runner of the two, and great hands as well. So I like those guys. They did draft 2 receivers in this year's draft, Dwayne Estridge and Cade Johnson. Dwayne Estridge was actually their first pick in the second round, and we'll see what they can get out of him. You think they needed to fix the O-line, but no, they go ahead and add another weapon, kind of a speedster dude. Gerald Everett they add from the Rams. I actually really like this. They've kind of had problems with their tight end, Jacob Hollister last year. Will Dissly I thought was going to be a sleeper tight end. He didn't really ever do anything. He played well towards the end of 2019, so I thought maybe he could build on that, but he definitely did not. So we'll see. But I think this is a decent 1-2 tight end punch for the Seahawks. Their O-line, it's not great. Dwayne Brown was really, really good last year. He got a great PFF score. Gabe Jackson coming over from the Raiders. It's kind of a middle-of-the-road offensive line. A lot of times Russell Wilson gets sacked because he's trying to do too much, right? And he does a lot. And, it's hard to say you're doing too much when you're winning double-digit games all the time. But a part of the reason he is getting sacked a whole bunch, like record numbers, the offensive line has failed him, but he's got a lot to do it, to be honest. Stone Forsythe out of Florida is a very interesting tackle they drafted late. He's huge, 6'8", 310 pounds. He is a very interesting prospect because I think as a pass blocker, which to help Russell Wilson, I think he's actually phenomenal. His problem is in the run game. He has a terrible center of gravity when it comes to leaning. He leans way too far forward, loses his feet, can't stay on the block. He's got a lot of work to do in the run game department, but if he can ever figure that out, the dude is a freaking beast of a human being, right? Maybe a little Morgan Moses in him, where he's just so big. And as I said, I think he actually has a pretty good chance to be a really good pass blocker. But in order to be a lineman, you got to do both because you don't switch up your lineman depending on the situation, right? And if anything, you bring in more linemen to run block, and I don't think he's very good at that. But he's still a very interesting pickup out of the 4th round. I think fifth round, somewhere in there, that they got him. Their defense is pretty interesting. They were so rough last year, especially early in the season. They were really, really bad. But you kind of look at it and you're kind of confused on why, right? Because Bobby Wagner, he is aging, but still an absolute beast. Super Bowl MVP. Jamal Adams, obviously a fantastic safety. Still looking for a contract. Well, they don't know if they're going to work that out. Carlos Dunlap, they acquired him from the Bengals in trade last year, later in the season. We'll see what he can do this year. They actually got Aldon Smith, who was a bright spot on a terrible Dallas defense last year. Up and down career with off-the-field issues. I'd be very interested to see what he can do as a rotational guy, or maybe even earn a starting spot over Hyder, and see if he can't help the Seattle defense. But there's no question about it. Seattle's defense is definitely the weakness of this team. But since the Legion of Boom, Russell Wilson has continued to get double-digit wins, whether he's had an O-line or defense or not. Dude's a beast, and as long as you have number 3, they're going to have a good record. It just is what it is. And let's go ahead and look at their schedule and run on through this. So, I know I said they're going to get double-digit wins, but I actually have them starting 0-2 against the AFC South. I really like the Colts this year, and I think it's going to be tough against Tennessee. The good part is for them that Tennessee is coming to town, but I still am going to have them lose, and I'm going to have them start 0-2. But they roar back. I have them beating the Vikings and beating the Niners, and I am actually going to have them beat the Rams at home. I'm going to have them split. I have them splitting with everybody in their division. So that is going to move them to 3-2. I think they beat the Steelers. The Steelers, they brought back Big Ben. It's kind of a question mark of what they're actually going to look like. They started off 11-0, and then they really, really tanked. After that, they didn't bring back Bud Dupree, who once he got out of the defense really struggled. But they'll get Devin Bush back from injury. I don't know. It's still gonna. This game is going to be a fun one to watch. I think this one is going to be a good game as long as both teams are healthy. But I still am getting the Seahawks the nod. So that's 4-2. Saints, I'm going to have them beating the Saints. So that's 5-2. Beating Jacksonville, 6-2. Then I have them losing to Green Bay. So there is your third loss of the season. So they'll lose 2 in a row, win 6 in a row, and then finally get a loss to Green Bay. I have them beating the Cardinals the first matchup. Then I actually have Washington taking them down because it's at Washington. Seattle's going to have to travel all the way there to them. They have a phenomenal defense, and their offense actually isn't as bad as some people think, especially the weapons around them and the offensive line. I think it's going to be tough to stop Washington for them, especially in the run game, where I think they struggle even more, that being the Seahawks defense. So Antonio Gibson should have a great day. So I have them losing Washington, so there's a 7-4 record. I have them, as I said, splitting with the Niners, so I had them losing the first one. I'll have them winning the first one, losing the second one. So there is 7-5. I have them beating Houston. I had them beating the Rams the first time, so losing the Rams to this time. And then I have them winning out the rest of the way, or maybe I have them losing to Arizona here. I don't remember. I had them splitting, so either way, if I had them losing here, then I have them winning the rest of the way. And I actually have them at a 10-7 record. Again, they find a way to get double-digit wins. I do think they have some weaknesses, so I don't think they're going to have like a 12 or 13 win season, but 10-7 I think is solid, and that's actually 3 teams in the NFC West that could potentially have a positive record. And I don't know what I'm going to do with the Cardinals yet, to be honest. It's pending. Maybe we'll have 4 teams over 500, and you have those kind of situations because of the 17th game where you are going to have a losing or a winning record unless you get a tie, but you get the idea, and I'm not predicting ties here. So somebody's going to have a losing and winning record every single time we do this, and we'll see what we do with the Cardinals next time. But you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, go in the comments below, and let me know what you think. Also, in the description below, there's a Discord link. Hop on our Discord and come talk some football. And last but not least, there are donation links in the description below. If you feel so kind, you could donate to the channel. Seattle, 10-7. I have the Niners 9-8, Rams 12-5. What will the Cardinals be tomorrow? Tune in next time. And until next time, see ya!